Righto, back at it again. Saturday morning. I've come out today. What I'm going to do is just make, I'm not going to be here all day today, but I'm going to make a new bracket. That's for the limit. And I'm going to start cutting stuff up for the feet for this, the lifter legs. I had a bit of a, I was laid in bed this morning thinking about it, so I've got a fair idea what I want to do, and I'll explain that once I get into that phase of it. But for now I'm just going to mark out, cut off that thing. It's a little fiddly thing, I won't worry about recording it, but when I've got it finished I'll bring you back. Stay tuned. Righto, that's done. The only thing I've got to do is it's just a little high. I've just got to elongate the slots a bit more. I did have them elongated in the other one, but so yeah, that looks a lot better than the other one. As I said, as I go along, I'll make new bits and make them look nicer. That looks much better. Alright, now I'm going to start on these feet. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it yet. There'll be two pivot points across the bottom. I'm just going to use round bar and see if I've got some pipe, because it doesn't really need to, I even considered doing nylon bushings. It doesn't really need it. If something's going to be used, you know, a dozen times a day, yes. But to be used every now and then, it won't need them. So I'll have one that'll come across, that's the front, so it'll come across from there. I'll have the bar going right across the back here, and then have a rod and a leg. So when you pull it up, it'll come back like that, and then down like that. So it'll have a bar that'll go across the middle to the other side, and it'll be inboard a little bit more. So the feet will come down just inside the foot there. So let me get some stuff sorted and cut up, and I'll bring you back and explain what I'm doing. Stay tuned. I've got those done. There's 4 of them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the centre so that bar will fit through. It's about there. And then on each end, once I've run that bar through right on the very end, I'm going to utilise some of these offcuts that I've been keeping. So this is just such a reason. Just got to work out. I can use those 4. That one not quite, no. I mean, it's a little bit thicker than I want it, but that's fine. What I might do is I'll put them in the lathe, drill them so they fit over that, and then put them together, put a bolt in there and do them up, and then machine the outside down so they're all the same. They only need to be probably not much smaller than that, maybe a little bit smaller than that. So it'll sit like that. So I'll have one on each end. The one on the front, yeah, this will be the front because that's the way the cans feed in. They'll just be doing the wire from the back. So the handle itself will weld onto the front one, and I'll have two bars going across. So when I pull it, it'll tilt them both, and it's hard to explain. I'm not real good at explaining stuff like this, but you'll see as I go along. So what I'm going to do now is I might cut these at the right length, two of them at 900. Yeah, and I think I've got some flat bar out there that I can use, some stainless steel flat bar for the lever, for the handle, for the side. I might stick these in the, actually I might stick these in the lathe and drill them. If I can. I don't know how I'm going to go with that shitty drill set I've got, but I might do that first before I do these, because I'll get these all sorted, then I'll drill those, just probably one at a time, but I might go and put these in the lathe and start on those. Just give me a minute. Alright, let me take you out of here and unzoom you. Right, now I've got that done. I only had one more cut to go, but it grabbed that washer and locked it up and spun all that shit. So what I've done is I found a bolt, 16mm bolt. So I've drilled them all out with 16mm slot drill, just put the thing in there, machine them all down, so they're within 1/2 mil of what I wanted them. So what I do now is I'm going to take them off. I've got another nut. So I'm going to put them in there, change the tools over, put it one at a time and then chamfer the front of them. Yeah, and then they'll be ready to put on the thing. I don't know whether I'm going to bore them out to the size of that that steel bar, or whether to put the bar in and then machine it down. So I don't know whether... Oh, the bar should clear my cupboard. I think I designed it so it would. So I'll put the bar through there and just turn the ends down to suit them. Which is what I might do. I think ultimately that's going to be easier. Let me get this stuff out of here and then we'll start chamfering. Righto, I think it's about all I'm going to do today. I'm starting to melt down. Everything's going awry. This camera's playing up again. The shutter won't open properly. But I've got them done. I had to chamfer them by hand because they're not quite the same size as that bolt. When you put them back in there, they just run out just a little, but that'll be fine. And that's where they'll sit, roughly, right about there. So I think I'll leave that for now. I'm starting to melt down somewhat, so I need a break. And it's nearly lunchtime, so, but I got a bit done. That's fine. And I've worked out exactly how I'm going to do this thing. So Monday, just prior to lunch, it should be. I'll cut this up, measure it the right length, and machine the ends down to fit those on. If I can get those in the lathe and get them true, I just might machine or might just do a bigger drill. Just put a chamfer on there for when I weld the ends. Yeah, so that'll work good, I think. So anyway, that's that done. That's my achievement for the day. But it's a fair bit of machining. It's quite a bit of machining on those tabs, and then these, as you see in the time lapse, I had to take it down just half a mil at a time because, as you saw at the end, it grabbed hold of one of those hardened washers and it spun. So you be real careful. Even though I put a 15-inch shifter on it and pulled it up as tight as I could, it never ever holds for me for some reason. I've seen other people do it, machine heaps of shit like that, but yeah, it must be just my luck. Alrighty, I'm going to call it a day at that, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned. Okay, Monday morning, back into it. I wasn't going to be able to get out here till nearly lunchtime, but the appointment I had was cancelled, well, postponed until the 1st. So today I want to try and get these feet done. So I'm going to measure up the bar, cut it to length, so there'll be two. One will be a bit longer than the other because one's going to have a handle on it to lift it up. So, and I'm going to machine the ends to fit these, and then I'm going to drill these. I think I might just tack them together just on the end, because I don't want to do the tops, because then it buggers them up when you cut them off, and then stick them in the mill, drill it out sort of most of the way, then use the half-inch, not the half-inch, the 16mm slot drill that I use to do those. Hopefully it'll work in the mill. Or I could just tack one end and then stick them in the four-jaw, but that's a lot of stuff around, just changing the chuck over, so I'll think about that one. But what I'm going to do is I'll cut those bars first, get them in the lathe, and start machining them down. So stay tuned. I won't worry about video on that. You've seen me cut shit up before, so when I get the stuff in the lathe, I'll bring you back. Okay, I've got them cut, got that one in. I don't know whether the other one's going to miss that cupboard. Oh, it might, it should, because it's only, that one's only 40mm longer than that one, so I think otherwise I could be in trouble. I will be in trouble. That's alright, that's good, as long as I can fit in there. So I'm going to turn that down now. I think that's the short one I put in there. So all I've got to do is machine enough off that thickness. I think they're all pretty much the same thickness, so all we do is machine enough off so that'll fit on like that. That'll be the outside, because I measured the one to go across from end to end. I measured to the end, and the other one I measured about that much longer because that's where the handle's going to go. So I'll measure that up. I'll get you in the stand and we'll get started. Alright, I don't know how much of that you'll see, but we'll soldier on, eh? You don't want to go that way. Try going forward. There we go, nice. Just a little bit of play, which is what I want. So if we leave that, I'll set that to 0. So that way, I can set them all the same. It's good. That doesn't have to be overly precise, just enough so there's a little bit of clearance in there. Beautiful. That's lovely. Let's measure this. This end will need to be about 60. Well, that's not going to work. So now I'll have to remeasure it anyway. I'll get that up, didn't I? About there. They're done, and I put them back in and chamfered them, And as so you see this end, that's going to stick through, so I can slide everything on and I'll weld the collar on. I just got to check the measurement because by rights from there to there should be the same measurement as the inside of that bottom rail, so I'll check that before I go too much further. But now I'll get these and work out what I'm going to do with these. I might just tack them together. Like I said, I'm just on the end, stick them in there and drill them with the drill first, obviously. And then yeah, I'll do sort of what the biggest drill I've got is 12-13 mil. Like a sharp one anyway. And then I'll run that through, because that's what I used in the lathe to drill the holes in the collars. So if I do it with that, then I know it's going to be exactly the same as that. Although you can see it was drilled with that, but it's see how that's, and it's going to do the same. It'll do the same on the mill because the mill wobbles a whole lot more than that does. Oh, that wasn't one because it's not locked down, but I'll lock it down and I'll change it over. And I've got swarf in my beard. Right, okay, let me sort this stuff out and then we'll come back. Alright, I thought I was recording when I was drilling these, but I wasn't. Anyway, they're done now. I was lucky because I found this. It wasn't real crash hot, but it's one of those cheap ass step drills and it's the perfect size. But what happened when I drilled them all, they wouldn't fit. And these wouldn't fit, but they were the same size. So I'm buggered if I know what happened when I drilled them with that end mill. But there's one here that's a little bit bigger. That's that one. And the rest was a bit smaller, so nothing fit, so I just had to put them back here. It was about half a mil I had to take off. So they're on there now and they're nice. They're nice, there's got no play. So what I'm going to do now is work out the legs, because there'll be a leg come out with a right angle on it. And it'll sit at an angle, so when you push it down, it'll lift the machine up and the bottom of the feet will be square. So what I'm planning, I was just going to weld to the outside of this, like grind it out, but I'm thinking if I cut the legs the size I want, I've got a piece over in the corner there, I might be able to drill them out to fit over here. They're 20 mil, so I'm pretty sure I've got 20 mil end mill or slot drill right there, 20 mil. And I should be able to drill through that RHS quite easily. So I think that's going to look a lot neater and a lot nicer. So I'll drill it and then I'll just round the ends off. Or I might just gouge the end off so it sits over neatly. Anyway, let me get something cut out. I'll cut out the legs and I'll bring you back. Right, that's how it sits in there. But I've come up with another plan, because the way it was going to work, it wouldn't have looked real good. Is this one here would have been right out to the edge, and that one would have been probably where it is, so you can get them to work. But what I'm doing is they're both going to rotate outwards, so the handle will go on this side, and on the inside here, probably in the middle somewhere, when you push the other one over that way, it'll pull the bottom from underneath. It'll be a lever underneath. It'll pull that other one around like that. So that'll work. That way I can have the feet all opening out just inside the casters there. So I think that'll work. I just measured what I'm going to need. So I'm going to cut me pieces off first to fit on here. Let me just, sorry for screwing you around, but I thought I'm going to make them like that, and I'll cut them about 90 long, so I can cut them a little bit shorter when I put the 45 degree on them. So let me cut those out and I'll bring you back and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Let's get you in close so you can see the carnage, because it's not going to be pretty. So I just know it's going to jump like a mother. So let me pick an appropriate speed. What do you want? Let's try 300 and see. Or maybe not enough, huh? Yeah, we'll go a little bit. Well, a bit higher, about 5 seconds. See how that goes, huh? It's about halfway. I think that'll be plenty, eh? Let me take it out, see how it looks, and I'll give you a look. Oh yeah, that's how I want it. Let me zoom in. Oh, wrong way. Yeah, see how that fits in there? So I'm going to do them all the same. So what I do then is once I line them all up, I can weld them all on. That's going to be look a lot neater, isn't it? All right, I'll get these other 3 done and we'll come back and have a look. Stay tuned. Right, I've got these all cut. Hang on, let me make sure you're not zoomed right out. So I'm going to go and have some lunch now. When I come out, I'm going to weld those up. They're nice and neat. But what that'll do is where that welds on the bar, it'll be at an angle sort of similar to that. So it's only going to have a small amount of movement. It just all it needs to do is to lift the wheels off the ground so it doesn't go everywhere. And I've got these little plugs to put in the bottom. So the upside of all that is if it's not quite level, it's not going to take much just to grind a little bit off. They should be all the same, but you know me and my welding. So yeah, so I'll get that done after lunch. I will get this thing finished today. I'm not going inside until it's done because tomorrow I'm going to finish with this. I've still got to make this. I haven't done that yet. And I'm going to make a cover. I'm going to go in and get a couple of dome bolts and run some bolts and put a cover over that, so it's all covered up. It'll look a lot neater like that too. So yeah, a few other little bits and pieces, but tomorrow I should start to get a fair bit done. Like I say, I've only got to make that, a cover for that, trim some bolts off inside. I've still got to do that other side. You might have noticed where I put in another one where I screwed up the bottom there. I've just got to fiddle around with that. That won't take long. That's probably half an hour, 3/4 hour max to fiddle with that. So then we're almost ready to function test. I've got to make the chute. That won't take much. And I'm going to make it so it clips on. So when you finish it, you can take it off, and I'm going to put probably another rail in there, so you can put either that on there or the can cassette, so they can be located in there out of the way. And then I've got to, well, I won't be able to function test it yet, idiot, but if I can get all this stuff done tomorrow, Wednesday I can start doing the electrics. I've got to put a sheet on the front, and I want to try and make a cabinet with something. Electrical cabinets are bloody expensive. I might have a look. I've got to go down because I need to get a plug for that and a gland for the bottom one for the cable. So I've got to go down to TLE at Muswellbrook, so I might have a look while I'm down there for a small electrical cabinet. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to have some lunch, and when I come back out, we'll get back into it. Righto, I've been in and had some lunch, welded those up, cleaned them up. that's rough. That's how that'll sit. Let me zoom in. On the bottom there's going to be a rod pointing that way, and on this bar here, do one same way, so there'll be a link. So when you pull that one down, what it's going to do is it's going to push this one around as well. I'm beginning to wonder whether I should shorten those, because I think it's going to be a little bit, it's going to lift it up a little bit more than it needs to. So I might take those off. Well, they're just sitting there, they're not actually welded. And just cut maybe 15mm off the bottom of them. Because as I say, it only needs enough just to lift the wheels off the ground, basically, stop it moving. So let me have a look at it and I'll bring you back. Alright, been a busy boy, we've got those done. They're going to be the ones that I'm going to weld them in the middle, and they will be the cantilever that'll tip them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld them on, then I'm going to try and set this up and work out where I need to put the like how long to make this. I'm going to use this round bar. I'm not going to bend, I'm not going to use round bar, I'm going to use something else, because oh yeah, I can use round bar. I'll explain when I get to it. So I've done that, and that fits nicely. I was going to either use the round bar or have like a clevis, which I could probably still do. Like I said, it doesn't matter, that's 10mm hole, so that's around a couple of 10mm bolts. So I'm going to pull those out now. They're all over the place because as you can see, I chucked a wally and kicked the chair, and yeah. So yeah, I'm going to pull those out now, measure them, the centres, and weld those on. And I'm thinking I might even weld the ends on. I can do that. I can weld the ends on. So I'll take this off, weld these on, weld the ends on. Yeah, and then I can lay it back into position, get them in the right spot, and then measure out my link and do that. So stick around. Right, let me turn this noisy thing off. And I always turn the gas off as well. Now that's how it's looking so far. Got those welded on, and I managed to set fire to my shirt. Set fire to a couple of rags. It was gangs of fun. Yeah, so all I need is a short piece of bar and go from that bottom one to the top one. So when the other one turns that way, it'll push this one this way. So it'll push the legs down at the same time. Now it should move the same amount because both those things are the same length. Truth be told, I probably could have made them a little bit shorter, probably a little bit long, but it's vertical there, where it's straight up and down. So I think I'll measure it there. I'll mark here. So I'll pull them out, I'll grind the gal, and then I'll get ready to weld those on. Once that's done, then I'll sit the feet back in, tack them. No. It's gonna be harder to weld, isn't it? I'll put that lever in, tack the feet on, then pull it out and weld the feet on, and then put it back in. And of course, I've got to line them up. That's not lined up properly. And then they've got to come out. The wider the better. So let me measure up that bar and see how I'm going to make that work, and then I'll bring you back. Alrighto, we got this far, and you can see what'll happen when I turn this one. See what it does with the other one. So, you know, I've got a fair range of movement there. I probably don't need that much, but that should turn exactly the same. So I'm going to leave that roughly where it is. The only thing I've got to do is probably just manipulate that rod a little bit. And of course, it's close, but I can't get. You see that one is close to the end, and the other one's in the middle. I want them both to be in the middle. So I could probably just take because there's fairly neat hole size too. Maybe if I take that out to 11mm, and that'll give me just enough twisting motion, which I think is what I might do. I don't want to have to try and bend that again. That was a bit of a pain bending that hook. The vice kept moving on me. The only problem with a swivel vice is they keep moving. Yeah, so that's coming along. I want to. What's the time? 10 to 3. I don't want to keep going too long. I'm starting to get a bit grumpy and pearl things around. So I did want to get this finished today. But you know, I've got quite a bit done, so I can't really complain too much. Well, I've only got tomorrow. I don't have Thursday because I've got to go down and get another injection in my hip. And then when I get back from Adamstown, I've got to go to the dentist to get a couple of fillings. So I want to get this finished. It's got to be finished by the end of the week. So yeah, I'll put all day tomorrow in. I should get that knocked over and start on the other stuff. I was going to go down to Musselbrook for that gland, but I'll do that when I come back on Thursday. So I've got to come through Musselbrook, so that's what I'll do. So that'll give me more time tomorrow. I might call it for the day. I don't think I'll get this off the camera today. I don't think I've got enough footage really, so I'll just do tomorrow as well and have 3 days in one video, which is fine. But that'll work, I think. That'll work. And these won't take long really. Once I get this sorted, as you can see, I've got it marked for where I've got to grind it. I've just got to sort that push rod, then sit those in, measure everything up, mark them. Actually, I might clamp those on and tack it in situ. That way you know they're going to be in the right spot. So yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. That's tomorrow's job, okay? I think I've done enough today. Quite a productive day actually. Yeah, and of course I've got to make a handle, but that's fine. I've got a nice piece of stainless steel there I'm going to make a handle out of. It has to be flat bar because I need it to flex a little bit, so for the catch, I'm going to make a catch for it. Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow will probably be another full day, another big day, because like I said, I want to get this finished before the weekend, and I'll probably work on it on the weekend, which means then I'll have to strip it and start getting it ready to paint. So that's what I'll do. Anyway, thanks for hanging around, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, good morning. Back at it. And I've had a bit of a think. I don't do that often because it hurts my head. What I'm going to do today, I'm not going to assemble it to function test because I know it works. I've already done that. What I'm going to do today is finish the lifting feet, remake this, and make the guide in the side there for the wire. That should be finished today, without any dramas at all. That will be done today. And I might also put somewhere to mount that and the can cassette. So that'll sit on top while it's being stored or being used to cut wire, and it can be stored underneath while the can cassette's in. So just looking at that, it's this thing, it's not this. I'll sort of rectify that when I make the new one. As you see, it's sticking out further there. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do today. So I want to work out the handle because I need it to be flexible on the side here, because I'm going to put a catch here, so when you pull it back you can put it over. Going back the other way won't matter because the legs will sit on the bottom of the frame. I was going to use this, but I think it's too big. So what I might do is cut it. I might measure it to length and then measure the thickness I want it and then cut it. And see what sort of, how I go, what time I've got, and I'll make a handle for it. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me get things sorted here and we'll get back into it. I want to do the handle. I'll measure the handle and get it sorted first. So what I can do then is I can drill a hole in it to go over the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it so that the handle comes up and then kicks in. So yeah, I just got to measure it. I'm pretty sure, I hope I haven't gone over length on that. It's going to be a problem, eh? Anyway, I'll give me a second and we'll come back. Righto, I've got this much done. I tried to film some of it, but this camera's playing up. So I think my greatest achievement today so far is not throwing this out into the streets so someone can drive over it. It's really giving me the shits. But anyway, there we go, there's our handle. So what I've got to do now is get it on there. It doesn't quite slide on, there's a couple of burrs in there I think. I tried to slide on there before. It'll go on. It's almost on now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a kick and a kick just to bring it over this way a little bit, and then once I've tacked those feet on, this is going to go on last. So what it'll do is it'll sit about there, then pull it forward and bend it out a little bit, and then it'll just go behind a little clip. Because I only need to move about that far, so I'm going to get the bottom done first. So I made a nylon handle and I put it on the mill and slotted it a little bit, and then when I welded the bar, that's not going to start that. I'm going to get a nice stainless steel dome nut to go on there and a washer. While that was really hot, I pushed it on there and sort of partially melted into shape, so that's nice and steady. That looks like something out of The Simpsons, doesn't it? It's like someone's about to get a paddle on. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is sort this, get it all into position, and then try and clamp those down, put the feet on, and then I'll tack the feet on, work out where they've got to go first, and then just clean just a little bit of scale off the bar, and tack those on. Then I'll take the whole lot off, weld it out, put it back in, then get it into position. And while I've got it out, I'll clean up down here, I'll put it back in, weld it in place, and then I'll sort this. So stay tuned. Right, noisy welder in the background. I've lifted this up, I took the head up top off it, put this up on here. I've got it measured to where it's got to be, so I'm just going to take these out, clean that up, and then I know exactly what measurement I need. So then I'm going to weld, then I'm going to take these off, weld these up, clean it up, put them back in. I'll fiddle with this a little bit so I can get these are pretty much line-upable, if that's a word. Yeah, so then I'm going to, like I said, I'll weld this out, put it back in, weld it down, and then I'll be ready to rock and roll. I'll put the handle on then and work all this while I'm at it, while I'm here, so that'll make life a lot easier because I only busted a foo from me. My ring came flying out, lifting that up on there, so stay tuned. Right, I've got that jury rig now. That's how it's going to stand up. Although I did make the mistake of putting the feet on the other side, so it's not quite level. So put the feet, the caps, yeah, the feet. So that's how it's going to sit. Put my handle here. So what I might do is pull the handle over this way. I might bend it first to how I want it, and then I'll make the little catch for it to put it. So actually I'll get these in position, and then I'll just tack the ends, so I'll get rid of these freaking clamps, they're a pain in the bum, and then we'll work on this, get this bit sorted. Yeah, I might be able to bring this along and cut some of that off. It's still within width, it's still going to fit, so it's all good. So I was a little bit worried about this. I didn't think this was the right sort of ratio, but it is. It's just how much pressure we're going to need to get it to work. So I'll bring you back in a sec. Stay tuned. Okay, I've managed to get the freaking camera working again. I tried 3 or 4 times, but I'm going to go see what I can do with it tonight when I take it inside. But anyway, there we go. It does work. I won't do it because I need 2 hands to do it. So, but I've gone to just give everything a coat. So what I'm going to do now is that cover. I'm going to remake that, and I'm going to put the motor just sit on here. Just put just one bolt, so I can work out where I've got to modify this. That won't take very much. And then I'll make the mount. Just not sure where I'm going to put it. To put the lid, I might just make something to sit here. So I'll put it inside here. And I might try and make a chute for the end here that I was going to make for the bucket. I'm not sure what I'll use yet, but I'll find something. Stay tuned and we'll have a look at something. Righto, soldering on. Only took me 3 attempts to get the camera to work, so, but I've cut that out and that doesn't look too bad, and that goes around nicely now. It doesn't hit at all. I've got this done. So that covers right to the very end, so that's good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the guide for there, and I think that by the time I get that done, that'll do me for the day. I'm not breathless, I'm just freaking out. I had a bit of a meltdown. Tripped over the earth lead for the welder and nearly didn't go ice over tit, but it was enough to send me off. So just count to 10 slowly. Anyway, I'm going to find some material and I'll put you in the stand while we figure out the lathe, making something for that. So let me have a look and see what I can find round bar wise. There we go. And I'm tripping over shit again. I'll use that. Doesn't have to be huge. I've already been in here, you can see by that mess. I went diving through there looking for shit, so or that. It's about the same size. I might even use that one. It is the same size. So even though it's got 2 flats on, but that don't matter. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm knocking shit down. Oh, I've got that. I think that's the same size as well. It is, and that's what I'll use because it's round. It will be a little bit of a pain because it's high tensile, but we'll manage. I've got coolant now, so let's do it, eh? Righto, there we go. So I just got to drill a hole in the side and then weld that on. And that'll be it, done. Stay tuned. Alright, that's done. Probably still a bit hot. No, it's okay. It's just warm. I already burnt myself on it. You know, skin sizzles when you put it on something that's hot. Mine did. I've made that. So all I can do, I was going to put something in the middle, but I might even see if I can. I've got to take these off, so I might drill the holes and tap them M6. I've got some M6 socket cap screws here. Get the wire out of the bloody way. Yeah, and bolt that on there to cover it. I've taken that side off and ground the bolts down in there. You can't see them, but as you can see, the head slides all the way in now. So I've got all that done. I've made good progress. What I'm going to do now, there's a bit of welding spatter. There's just some grinding dust in here. I've got to measure the gland on this. Let me take that off, if I can get it off. Oh, it's still a screw in there. Anyway, on my way home from Adamstown tomorrow, I'm going to grab a plug and a gland, because the wires come out through the bottom. So when I get home tomorrow, I'll have that ready to go. And I was going to get a cabinet, but all I'm going to do is I'll fold a little box to put the wiring in, like behind. I'll put the panel on the front, and I'll put the speed controller on here, and the switch for the gate, and just put them to the side here. So that'll be fine. I won't need to buy a cabinet. That'll save a little bit of cost. And I'm thinking I might even start stripping it on Friday and start to get ready to paint everything, because once I get it back together, that'll be the last time it goes together, and I'll wire it up while I'm going. So I'll cut this for the front. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the whole front. Oh, I haven't done that chute yet either. That's once I get the stuff in to make this, I'll do the chute. The chute's only going to be a matter of bloody just a couple of folds and a little chute that I'll make some hooks I might even have to put that back up there so I know exactly where to put it.
Stand that.
Yeah, I didn't ask you anything, Siri, go away. There we go. Yeah, and what I'll do it as I go. Then I'll just have to, because once I paint it, I'm not going to touch it for 2 days. I want the paint to set over 2 days so I don't leave handprints, finger marks and crap all through it. So I was going to do the thing for that. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I've got that done too. There we go. But then that thing, that up there won't take very long at all. I might make the mount for it in the end, so I'll keep this front covered. And just put something across here with a little bit of angle on it and 2 holes. So you put one or the other in there. That's what I'll do. That won't take very long at all. That'll be a nice easy one. So I'm going to call it a day because I've got to take a little while to clean up. I've got to go and pack up that mill and clean it up before it goes rusty. Yeah, starting to come down to the interesting bits now, isn't it? I was wondering what was wrong with that. It's not tight. Yeah, it's getting down to the interesting stage now because it's going to come together fairly quickly, which is pretty good because I've got, well, on Friday I'll have a week to finish it completely because I've got to load it up next Friday because I'm leaving on Saturday. So, and I'm not going to pack it before I go because I'm leaving at about 2:30 in the morning. So, yeah. So that's it. I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for hanging around again. And as always, till the next time, stay safe. Peace.